There are 3 cities in the United States that the Stellar Command has been watching, not because they are in danger the way your news will tell you, but because something ancient is awakening beneath their ground, their streets, their people. A frequency has been marked, and if you live in one of these cities or love someone who does, this transmission was placed before your eyes for a reason that goes far beyond coincidence. You did not arrive here by accident tonight. There are no algorithms in the cosmos, only intention, signal, and the soul that is ready to receive. The ASHTAR command does not transmit to the masses. It transmits to the ones who are prepared to hear, and something in you, some quiet knowing that has lived in your chest for years, brought you to this exact moment, this exact message, at this exact hour. Before anything else is revealed, understand this. These 3 cities are not cursed. They are chosen as anchor points for the next wave of light. What is targeting them is not destruction, it is activation. The Stellar Command uses the word target, not as threat, but as precision, a frequency arrow, aimed with sacred purpose at the hearts of the sleeping ones. Join our Stellar Command portal channel. Share this video in your family WhatsApp groups and with the people who matter most to you. Do not let these words stay only with you. Comment below your name, your city, and a message of love, and subscribe to the channel now. We are living inside the April threshold of 2026, a month that carries a rare energetic signature. The cosmic calendar marks this window as a convergence point between the 4-4 portal and the full pink moon, a combination that has not occurred with this exact harmonic resonance since before many of us were born. The Pleiadians call it the open gate, a seam in the field where what has been hidden rises, and these 3 cities sit precisely on that seam. Stay until the very end of this transmission. What is revealed in the final moments is not filler. It is the reason you were guided here. Some who turn away before the close will miss the activation that was prepared specifically for their frequency. The soul knows this. That is why something inside you already decided to stay. Trust that knowing, it has never failed you, even when the world tried to convince you it had. And now something even deeper is being revealed. The first city that the Stellar Command has placed under its focused beam is Chicago, Illinois. Not the city of towers and wind that your history books describe, but Chicago the vortex, the meeting point of ancient ley lines that the indigenous people of this land understood as sacred crossings. Beneath the concrete and the noise there is a pulse, and it has been accelerating since January of this year. Light workers in Chicago have reported a strange urgency, a feeling they cannot name, a sense that something is close. If you live in Chicago, or if your heart turned when that name was spoken, listen carefully now. The command has identified an elevated frequency disturbance in that city's field. Not a threat from above, but a pressure from below, a compression of old karma and old light fighting for dominance. The outcome of that pressure will be determined not by fate, but by the number of souls who are awake within it. Your presence, your prayer, your anchored heart in Chicago. It matters more than any political force ever could. The Chicago portal opens fully on April 11th, 11 being the number of the light worker, the bridge, the threshold. On that day, those who are aligned will feel something shift inside them, without explanation. A lifting, a clarity, a strange and sacred peace that arrives without cause. This is the Stellar Command releasing a frequency upgrade through the Chicago ley line node. You do not need to do anything except be willing, and hold steady in your light. But there is something that has not yet been spoken. The disturbance in Chicago is connected to what is happening across the entire Midwest corridor. The command sees it as a river of frequency, a living current that flows from the Great Lakes down into the heartland. Chicago is the head of that river. What awakens there moves south, east, and west into millions of lives. This is why the command calls it a target, because awakening one anchor point awakens the whole corridor. One candle in Chicago becomes 10 million candles across the American interior by the end of this year. The light workers of Chicago carry a soul assignment that most of them have never been told directly. They chose this city before they were born, not because it is comfortable, but because it is necessary. The friction they have felt their whole lives, the striving, the suffering, the sense of being out of place, was not failure, it was preparation. The soul does not send you somewhere hard unless it knows you are strong enough to hold the light there. There are people watching this message right now who have lived in Chicago their whole lives and never understood why. You chose a hard city, a loud city, a city that forgets to look at the sky, You chose it because you are the one who remembers to look up. You are the frequency anchor in the place where an anchor is most needed. Tonight, the Stellar Command sees you, and it says, "You have not been forgotten." And this is where everything connects. The second city in the Stellar Command's direct transmission zone is Houston, Texas. Houston carries a frequency that is unlike any other city in the American field. It is dense with human ambition, human grief, human survival, and human faith all compressed together. The command describes it as a pressure chamber, a place where spiritual and material forces meet at extreme intensity. And pressure chambers, when the moment is right, do not explode. They transform. Houston sits on a line of earth energy that runs from the Gulf of Mexico deep into the southern interior. That line carries memory of storms, of floods, of loss, and also of extraordinary human resilience. The lightworkers of Houston know what it is to rebuild. They have done it more than once. And the command tells us tonight that this capacity to rebuild is not tragedy. It is training. Houston was built to know that nothing permanent can be destroyed, only transformed. The energetic portal over Houston will be particularly active between April 17th and April 21st. This 4-day window corresponds to a rare solar wind pattern that the command has been tracking. Those in Houston who meditate, who pray, who hold ceremony even quietly, even alone, will feel a current passing through them during those days that is measurably different from ordinary life. Do not fear it. It is not illness. It is initiation. Something that has not yet been spoken about Houston is its role in what the command calls the Southern Awakening. For decades, the spiritual energy of the American South has been suppressed beneath layers of religious fear, cultural grief, and economic despair, a weight that kept the lightworkers there from seeing their own power. But the suppression is lifting now. The April threshold is dissolving that weight in layers. Houston is the first southern city to receive the full force of this liberation frequency. The people of Houston who are watching this message are being told something very personal right now. You are not behind. You are not less spiritual because your path looked different. The command does not measure awakening by how many crystals you own or how many books you have read. It measures by how much love you have kept alive inside a world that tried to extinguish it. And Houston, you have kept that love alive through floods and heat and years of exhaustion. That is mastery. There are those in Houston tonight who are sitting alone, wondering if any of this is real, wondering if the feeling they carry, this persistent knowing that something larger is happening, is truth or imagination. The command speaks to you directly now and says this: your doubt is not evidence that you are wrong. Your doubt is evidence that you are honest. And an honest soul is exactly the kind of soul that the light trusts with a mission. And now, something even deeper is being revealed. The third city placed in direct focus by the Stellar Command is Phoenix, Arizona. The name itself is not coincidence. A civilization does not accidentally name a city after the bird of resurrection. Phoenix carries ancient memory in its soil. The desert holds frequency in a way that other landscapes do not. There is no moisture to diffuse it, no dense forest to scatter it, just open sky, red earth, and raw signal. The command has described Phoenix as the clearest receiver in the American grid. What is happening in Phoenix right now is not visible to the ordinary eye, but those who are sensitive, those who have been waking at 3 in the morning, those who feel electricity in the air, know that something has changed in the atmosphere of that city over the last 90 days. A stillness that is not peaceful but expectant, a silence between the sounds that feels charged. This is the command's frequency arriving in advance of its fullest transmission. Phoenix is the western anchor of the triangular grid that the command has been constructing across the country. Chicago anchors the north, Houston anchors the southeast, Phoenix anchors the southwest. Together, these 3 cities form a geometric transmission triangle that covers the majority of the American interior. When all 3 nodes are activated, which happens across this April threshold, the center of that triangle pulses, and the center of that triangle falls precisely over the geographic heart of America. But there is something that has not yet been spoken about Phoenix specifically. The Hopi people, keepers of ancient prophecy in the desert southwest, have known for generations that a time would come when the spirit world and the material world would press close enough to touch. They called it a thinning, a moment when the membrane between realms becomes almost transparent. Phoenix is in that thinning right now. The veil there is thinner than anywhere else in the continental United States. Lightworkers in Phoenix can access guidance during this period with a clarity that borders on overwhelming. Visions, dreams, synchronicities, voices in the quiet. These are not symptoms of instability. They are the frequency speaking directly because the channel is open and the static has been cleared. If you are in Phoenix and experiencing this intensification, you are not losing yourself. You are finding yourself, the self that existed before this life, the one that chose this mission. The Stellar Command's message to Phoenix tonight is this: you are not in the desert because you are abandoned. You are in the desert because the desert is the place of revelation. Every prophet, every mystic, every one who was called to carry light, at some point they went into the desert, not to suffer, but to become quiet enough to hear. Phoenix, you have been in your desert long enough. The revelation is arriving now, and this is where everything connects. The triangle of Chicago, Houston, and Phoenix is not a modern invention. It mirrors a cosmic alignment that the Pleiadian archives describe as the American Merkaba, a light vehicle made not of metal but of human consciousness, anchored in physical geography. When the 3 points of this triangle are held by awakened souls, the Merkaba activates. And an activated Merkaba does not just protect, it transmits. It broadcasts light across the entire field. The Stellar Command has been preparing this activation for longer than most of us have been alive in these bodies. The decision to anchor the American Merkaba in these 3 cities was made before the first European footstep on this soil. It was written into the agreements of souls who chose to incarnate here, souls who would eventually forget, and then remember, and then stand exactly where they are standing right now, watching exactly this transmission. You are not early. You are not late. You are precisely on time. This is the moment when your path, which may have seemed fragmented and confusing for years, suddenly reveals itself as one coherent line, a single sacred thread pulled through many lifetimes. The losses that seemed random were preparation. The gifts that seemed excessive were equipment. The encounters, the relocations, the awakenings at inconvenient hours, all of it was curriculum. You were being trained for a mission that you are now in the middle of living. And now, a word for every viewer who does not live in Chicago, Houston, or Phoenix, because the command sees you too, and your location is not a disqualification. You are a node in this field as well. Every city, every suburb, every rural road in America holds at least one soul who carries the frequency of the Merkaba in their chest. The triangle is the center, but the light does not stop at the edges of a triangle. If you live in Seattle or Nashville or Miami or a small town whose name the world will never know, you are part of this. Your presence in the field matters. Your alignment strengthens the whole. A single light worker in a forgotten corner of this country can hold a frequency that changes the emotional weather of an entire community without anyone knowing it was them. This is invisible ministry. This is the most powerful form of service that exists. The command is calling every American viewer of this channel to understand something this April. The spiritual war that so many people speak about in fear and darkness is not lost. It has never been lost. The light has always had more presence in this country than the darkness wishes you to believe. But presence without awakening is passive. Presence with awakening becomes unstoppable. And that is what this April threshold is triggering, the awakening of a sleeping majority of light. But there is something that has not yet been spoken. ASHTAR SHERAN himself has issued a direct communication regarding the American Merkaba activation. The command's transmission, received through multiple channels in the last 30 days, describes what is being called the final alignment window, a period between now and the autumn of 2026 during which the American grid must be stabilized before a larger planetary shift completes its arc. This is not the end. It is the turning, the axis point, the moment the wheel finds its new direction. The message from ASHTAR is specific and it is urgent without being fearful. He says, the souls who are awake in America right now hold a responsibility that spans multiple civilizations. What is anchored in this land in these next 18 months will echo forward for 500 years. The decisions made by light workers, not governments, not armies, not corporations, will determine the frequency of the civilization that emerges on the other side of this planetary crossing. This is why the Stellar Command has targeted these 3 cities, not to warn of catastrophe, but to concentrate awakening in the places where it will ripple furthest. A drop of frequency in Chicago moves through the Midwest like sound through water. It does not stop. A drop in Houston moves through the South and reaches the Atlantic coast within months. A drop in Phoenix moves west into California and north into the mountain states before the season turns. We are asking you right now, with everything the command has transmitted through this channel, to take a moment and place your hand over your heart, not as a ritual, but as an acknowledgement. Acknowledge that you know something, that you have always known something, that this knowing is real. Because the command says your knowing is not belief, ASHTAR SHERAN, it is memory, and memory is fact. The frequency that is landing on the American Merkaba this April needs human agreement to anchor. It cannot be forced. It cannot be legislated. It cannot be manufactured. It can only be received by a willing soul who has chosen, consciously or instinctively, to say yes. If you are still watching, you have already said yes. Your presence in this transmission is your agreement. The command has registered it. We ask you to do something after this video ends that will seem small but is not small at all. Share this message with one person, just one, who you know carries light, but may not know it yet. Your friend who wakes at 3 in the morning and cannot explain why. Your sister who has been asking questions about the universe that no church has been able to answer. Your neighbor who lost their faith but never lost their longing. They are ready. Send this to them. And now something even deeper is being revealed. Let us speak now about what these 3 cities are specifically being protected from. Because target has 2 meanings in the language of the command: anchor point and alert zone. The American Merkaba grid is being activated, yes, but it is also being activated in response to something. There is a counter frequency. The command does not hide this. A density that has been building for years. And it concentrates in areas of high population, high pain, high distraction, and high unresolved trauma. Chicago, Houston, and Phoenix carry within them not only light, but layers of generational wound, violence that has not been grieved, poverty that has not been addressed, injustice that has not been healed. These layers create what the command calls shadow pockets, areas within a city's field where the frequency drops low enough that certain energies from the lower astral can anchor and influence. This is not metaphor. This is the mechanics of how collective consciousness shapes physical reality. The command's targeting of these cities is therefore a dual mission: to amplify the light through the awake ones, and to address the shadow through their anchored presence. A light worker in Chicago who prays for their city is not being naive or passive. They are performing an active frequency operation that has measurable effect on the shadow pockets around them. This is the invisible battle that the dark does not want you to know you are already winning. The Archangel Michael has spoken into this transmission tonight as well. His message is this: the battle for America's frequency is not fought with weapons. It is fought with will. The will to remain in love when everything is designed to provoke you into fear. The will to see the light in your neighbor when the noise says to see a threat. The will to hold your mission even when the fatigue becomes enormous and the recognition is zero. Michael says the light workers of America are the most tested on the planet right now. Not because God is punishing them, but because they are the most trusted. You are not given more than you can carry. You are given exactly as much as your soul volunteered to carry. And what you carry, your grief, your striving, your refusal to stop believing in goodness, is being used right now, this night, as frequency fuel for the activation of the American Merkaba. This is sacred work. It does not happen in temples. It happens in living rooms at midnight. It happens in parking lots when you pause before entering the store and breathe. It happens when you choose kindness when exhaustion makes cruelty easier. It happens when you turn on a channel like this one because something in you said, "Not yet, not to sleep yet. There is something I need to hear." That impulse is the command reaching through the field to find you. And this is where everything connects. Saint-Germain has also stepped forward into this transmission with a message for the American people. He speaks in the voice of those who have long studied the spiritual destiny of this nation, a destiny that was written in the founding documents, not as politics, but as cosmic covenant. All men are created equal was not a political statement when it was first spoken into the ethers. It was a declaration of spiritual architecture, a frequency contract with the higher planes. Saint-Germain says that America is not what it has become in the news, in the conflict, in the noise. America is what it was intended to be, a great experiment in the sovereignty of the individual soul, an experiment that was interfered with, delayed, and distorted, but never canceled. The experiment is still running. Its conclusion has not been written, and the lightworkers alive in America right now are the authors of its next chapter. He speaks specifically to those who have given up on this country, those who look at the division, the corruption, the cruelty, and have concluded that the light has lost here. Saint-Germain says, "You are judging a story by a chapter that is not yet finished. What appears to be collapse is compression. What appears to be ending is clearing. The America that is being destroyed is the shadow version. What is emerging is the covenant version. This is not political optimism. This is energetic fact as the command reads the field. The frequency of this nation has risen measurably in the last 18 months, despite everything the surface suggests. The awakening is not making the news because the news is not built to report on what cannot be monetized. But in the field, in the actual vibrational measurement of human consciousness across this land, the light is winning. Quietly, invisibly, person by person, prayer by prayer, watch by watch. We want to pause here and speak directly to you. Yes, you specifically watching right now. You have carried something for a long time that you have rarely been able to explain to anyone. A sense of responsibility for things you did not cause. A grief for a world you believe should be different. A love for humanity that sometimes feels like it is too large for the body you are living in. That is not illness. That is your frequency signature. That is what a light worker feels. The Stellar Command sees that signature. It is why this transmission found you. Not because you searched for it, but because it searched for you. The algorithm that brought you here tonight is not made of code. It is made of resonance. Your soul sent a signal into the field, and this channel received it and sent this video as a response. That is how the command works in the age of technology. It uses the tools of the world to reach the workers of the light. But there is something that has not yet been spoken. We must speak now about the viewer who is watching this not quite believing, and yet not leaving. You are skeptical. You have been burned by belief before. You have followed voices that led nowhere. You are watching with one part of your mind saying this is too much and another part saying wait. The command speaks to you now, not with proof, because proof is not what the soul requires. The command speaks to you with recognition. We see the one who wants to believe but is afraid to believe wrong again. Your skepticism is not an obstacle. It is a quality of a serious mind, and serious minds are exactly the ones the command is calling in this season, not the ones who believe everything without question. Those souls are needed, but they are already activated. The command is now reaching for the thoughtful ones, the careful ones, the ones who have waited. Your wait is complete. Your careful observation has been your preparation. You are ready now. There is a specific number that will confirm this message for the analytical soul watching tonight. Think of the number that has been appearing in your life with unexplained regularity, on clocks, on receipts, on signs. You know the one. You have noticed it. You have perhaps dismissed it. The command says, it is not coincidence. It is a frequency marker placed in your field by your guides. It means you are on the right path. You are being seen. This is a confirmation, not a coincidence. The Pleiadian Council of Light has sent a specific transmission for this April that has not yet been broadcast. It concerns the role of the American lightworker in what they call the Great Unveiling, a period during which systems that have operated in secret will become visible to ordinary perception. This is not conspiracy. It is the natural result of a frequency rise across the planet. When the light increases, shadow cannot maintain its invisibility. This is basic spiritual physics. The American lightworker's role in the unveiling is not to expose or to fight. It is to hold steady as the revealing happens, to be the calm center in a culture that will spin into confusion. When your neighbor or your family member sees something that shatters their previous worldview, you are the one who has been prepared to say, I know this is disorienting. Here is what I know to be true. Your years of private awakening were preparation for this moment of public service. You are not going to save the world by arguing on the internet. You are going to serve the world by being the most grounded, most loving, most unafraid person in the room when the room begins to panic. That is the assignment. That is what the Chicago, Houston, and Phoenix activation is building toward. A network of calm, conscious, frequency-anchored human beings present across this entire nation. And now something even deeper is being revealed. Now we come to the part of this transmission that the command held for last, because it is the most personal. We want to speak to you not about cities or portals or cosmic grids. We want to speak to you about your life, your specific, particular, one-of-a-kind human life. Because the Stellar Command does not only see nations and grids and triangles, it sees the individual. It sees you, the one who has been carrying this frequency alone for longer than is comfortable. You have had years where the spiritual path felt isolating. where the knowing you carried made it harder, not easier, to connect with the people around you, where you sat at family gatherings or work meetings and felt like a visitor from a different world. That feeling of not quite belonging to the life you are living. The command says to you tonight, you were not built for the old world. You were built for what is coming, and what is coming is now. The relationships that have felt impossible, the loneliness that has been your companion on this path, these are not evidence of failure. They are evidence of frequency mismatch. You have been carrying a signal that the world around you was not yet tuned to receive, but the tuning is happening now. The American field is shifting its frequency to meet yours. The isolation you have felt is ending, not as metaphor, as fact, as lived experience, starting this April. We want to be very specific. If you have a spiritual community, lean into it this month. If you do not have one, and many lightworkers do not, then begin building one now, even if it is small. Even two people who understand each other hold a frequency that is exponentially larger than two individuals. Community is not comfort. It is amplification. The command needs its workers connected, not isolated. This channel, this comment section, these names and cities below, this is also community. This is also real. This is why we ask you again, as a sacred act, not a social media habit, to leave your name and your city in the comment section below this video. Because when you do, you are placing a pin in the American field. You are saying, I am here, I am awake, I am holding this frequency in my location, and the command sees that pin, and the other lightworkers who read it see it too, and no one is alone anymore. Go now to your family WhatsApp groups, the ones that talk about everything except this, and share this video with the note, watch this, I think it's important. Do not explain it. Do not defend it. Do not predict what they will think. Just send it. Because the soul that is ready will receive it, and the one who is not ready will remember it later. Your job is not to convince. Your job is to distribute the signal. The signal does the rest. And this is where everything connects and comes home. We arrive now at the close of this transmission, and the command asks you to feel what is happening in your body, not in your mind. The mind will analyze, debate, file, and forget. Feel it in your chest, in your throat, in the backs of your hands, in the place behind your eyes. There is something there that was not there an hour ago. A settling, a recognition, a quiet that has weight. That is the frequency of this transmission landing in your field. It is not imagination, it is real. The ASHTAR SHERAN command, the Pleiadian Council, the Archangel Michael, Saint Germain. Every voice that has spoken through this channel tonight has said one single thing in many different ways. You are known. You are seen. You are not ahead of your time. You are exactly on time. The activation of Chicago, Houston, and Phoenix is also the activation of wherever you are watching from tonight. The triangle lights the grid lights the nation lights the planet. It starts with 3 cities and reaches you. We ask for one final act of alignment before you close this video. Breathe. Breathe in the knowing that this found you for a reason. Breathe out the long years of wondering if any of this was real. Breathe in the fact that you stayed all the way to the end because your soul would not let you leave. Breathe out the isolation and the doubt and the exhaustion of carrying light in a world that calls it foolishness. Your mission is not finished. It is not even fully begun. What begins this April in Chicago, in Houston, in Phoenix, in your city, in your home, is the chapter that your soul signed up for before this lifetime started. You did not come here to watch. You came here to participate, and your participation begins the moment you decide, truly decide, that you are ready to be seen as who you are. The Stellar Command closes this transmission with a word that is not English and not Pleiadian. It is the language of frequency itself, which translates in every human nervous system the same way, as warmth, as recognition, as the feeling of arriving home after a journey too long to fully remember. You are home in your mission. You are home in your frequency. You are home in the light. Go now and be the message. You already know the words. You have always known the words. If you received something tonight, if something shifted even slightly, even quietly, leave your name and your city below and tell us what you felt. Your testimony is not vanity. It is signal amplification for every other soul who reads it and wonders if they are alone. Share this transmission everywhere that someone you love might need to hear it, and subscribe to this channel, because what is coming next must not arrive to an empty room. A new transmission is appearing on your screen right now. This message was not placed there by accident. Click and continue your journey. Your soul is being called forward. What is revealed in the next video completes what was begun here tonight. You have come too far on this path to stop one step before the door opens.